welcome to Andrea Wilson Tuition and our GCSE Foundation Revision. I'm Andrea and I'm going to tell you today how to do the order of operations, which is sometimes known as BIDMAS or even BODMAS. Sometimes it has a few different names. It means checking the order that you do things when there's lots of different operations written down in a question. So let's have a look and see what we can do here. Now, here we have a question in the middle, 3 plus 2 times 5. And you can see there's two different answers. The alien says it's 25. The human says it's 13. Who is correct? Do you know any rules that would mean either of those was correct? If we work from left to right, we could go 3 add 2 is 5, times 5 is 25. So the alien could be right. Or if we decided to do the multiplication first, 2 times 5, which is 10, and then add on the 3, 3 plus 10 is 13. So the human could be right. How do we know which is the right way to do a question like that? Now, let's have a look. They are both correct for the different places. So if we're on Earth, 13 is correct. If you're an alien, that would be correct for your rules. Now, many years ago, many thousands of years ago, we didn't have any rules for how we would do these questions, and people would come up with different answers. As you can see there, the alien got one answer, which if we work from left to right was correct. The human came up with another answer because we're using a different set of rules. Now, we had to decide that because there was lots of different ways of doing questions like this, we had to decide on a rule. So let's have a look. We've got adding and we've got multiplying. And according to the rules on Earth, BIDMAS, we would multiply before we add. So we did 2 times 5 and then we added on the 3 to give us 13. So there we have 3 add 10. 2 times 5 is 10, add on the 3 and we have 13. Now, as I've just said, over those hundreds of years we've developed these rules to make sure everybody does their questions in the right way. Otherwise, we could have all sorts of answers and who would be right? We wouldn't know. And also, if you wanted to write something down, how would you know that people would understand that you meant to do it in a certain order? So you might be telling somebody something and they might do it completely differently and get something different. So that could cause lots of problems. Now, let's have a look. Let's try and see what these problems could be. We're going to do all of these sums using both the alien rule, which says add first and multiply second, and then we're going to try it with the Earth rule, multiply first and add second. So our first question, 4 add 3 times 2. Now the alien says add first, so we do 4 add 3. 4 add 3 is 7. And then we multiply. So 7 times 2 would be 14. Now, the Earth rule says multiply first and add second. So we've got to do 3 times 2 and then add on the 4. So 3 times 2, can you work that out? 3 times 2 is 6. Add 4 is 10. We've got very different answers there. That could cause major problems, couldn't it? Let's try the others and see. I wonder if any time we do get the same answer. Okay, alien rule. Add first, multiply second. So we've got to add 5 add 2, which is 7. And then 5 times 7. 5 sevens are 35. Let's try it with the Earth rule. Multiply first and then add. So we've got 5 times 5, which is 25. Add 2, which is 27. Very different answers again. Let's try the next one. Add first and multiply for the aliens. So 3 add 2 is 5. 5 times 4. Have you worked that out yet? 5 times 4 is 20. Let's try the earth rule. Multiply and then add. So 2 times 4 is 8. So 3 plus 8 is 11. Again, very different answers. Aliens for the next one says add first or subtract, of course. So 6 minus 5. We do that first. That's 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now the earth rule, we multiply first. So 2 times 6 is 12. And then we subtract. So 12 minus 5 is 7. And finally, aliens, we do the subtraction first. 8 minus 4 is 4. Divide that by 2, we get 2. For the earth rule, we're going to do the division first and then the subtraction. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. So there you can see the rules in our maths are really, really important to make sure that we are all doing the same thing and working out things in the same way. Now, if you change the order of operations in these, pause the video and have a go and see, do the subtraction first, do the addition first, do the multiplication first, try doing the division first, do them in different orders. Can you spot, is there certain operations that are more important than others to do in the correct order? So I'll give you an example, then you can have a go on your own. So the first one, 8 minus 3 plus 2 minus 1. Let's just do it in the order it's written. 8 minus 3 is 5. Add 2. 7 minus 1 is 6. So if we did that in another order, let's do the subtractions first and then add the answers. So 8 minus 3 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. 5 add 1 is 6. So that actually didn't really change the way that we were doing it. Have a go with all of those others and see if you can find, do any of them give you more than one answer? If they do, that means that those operations are important to do in the correct order. So pause the video now and have a go at those. When you've worked them all out, come back and I will tell you the answers. Okay, so when we've got multiplication and division, 4 times 8 divided by 2 is 16, no matter which order we do it. 4 times 8 is 32, divided by 2 is 16. If we do the division, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16. So we can't get different answers there. Now we've got addition and multiplication in this one, so we can do 5 add 2 is 7, times 3 is 21, or 2 times 3 is 6, 5 add 6 is 11. So that one is important that we do them in the right order, otherwise we could get a different answer. So we've got addition and multiplication there. So thinking about that one, what's the next one? 4 times 3 minus 2. Is this going to be important? So let's do it in the order it's written. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2 is 10. Or we can do 3 minus 2 is 1, and then multiply it by 4 to give us 4. So yes, when we've got multiplication and subtraction, we can also get different answers. How about 24 divided by 8 minus 2? We've got division and subtraction. Do you think this will give us more than one answer? Of course it does, because 24 divided by 8 is 3, minus 2 is 1. Or 8 minus 2 is 6, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. And the last one, doesn't matter which order we do it, we will always get 10. So when we have a mixture of multiplication or division along with addition or subtraction, that is when we can get different answers. Okay, so those are the ones: addition and multiplication, multiplication and subtraction, division and subtraction, and also division and addition will cause us problems. Now, another example to just show that to you, we've got here 3 times 5 and 4 times 5. There's 3 different ways of writing those out now. 3 plus 4 times 5 does not give us how many circles there are. However, 5 times 3 plus 5 times 4 will give us the right answer. And 3 plus 4 in brackets times 5 will give us the right answer. Does that help you to work out maybe what the order of operations should be? What should we be looking at to work out first? Which is the most important? Which should we do next? What's the order we need to do these calculations in? Well, let's have a look. First thing we must do is anything in brackets. They've been put together in those brackets to say, work this out first. So B, you remember for the BIDMAS, B for brackets is the first one to do. Secondly, we do indices or powers, or sometimes they're known as orders, which is why sometimes it's BODMAS. But it for indices, I for indices. So B, D for division, and M for multiplication, BID, M. Now, division and multiplication, we've already worked out it doesn't matter which order we do those. So generally, with division and multiplication, within the question, we would work from left to right. It doesn't matter. You still get the same answer. And finally, the AS part, addition and subtraction. Again, it doesn't matter. We saw that from some questions before, which order we do these, but generally we would work from left to right. So if you look at those initial letters, BIDMAS, BIDMAS. So that is a little acronym to remember to help you work out the order of operations. Brackets, indices, division and multiplication, addition and subtraction. There we go. So if you can remember that, you can remember the order that we need to do things so that everyone gets the same answer. So calculations in brackets first, indices if we have them, division and multiplication from left to right, addition and subtraction from left to right. So let's look at this question. What do you think we should do first? We've got 6 add 5 times 3. So looking at BIDMAS, what part of that shall we do? Should we do 6 add 5 or should we do 5 times 3? Well, yes, we're going to do 5 times 3. So there we go. I've put some brackets around it so that you can see that we need to do that first, because we know brackets comes first anyway. So if that helps you to figure out the order, put brackets around the part that you think you should do first. That will help you to focus and do that first and then move on. So 5 times 3, which is 15. So now we've got 6 plus 15, so we can add those together to give us 21. Okay, and you can see if we didn't do BIDMAS, we'd have had 6 plus 5, which is 11, times 3 would have been 33, which would have been the wrong answer. So in an exam, you would have lost a mark there because you didn't use BIDMAS. So any question that you see that has more than one type of operation in it, so adding, dividing, multiplication or subtraction separately, or brackets or indices, always check that you can do BIDMAS. Okay, same rules. 4 add 2 times 6. Which is the part that we need to do first? Let's put some brackets around it. So 2 times 6 we need to work out first. That's 12. So we've got 4 add 12. Now we can add those together. 4 plus 12 is 16. Again, if we hadn't done BIDMAS, we'd have had 6 times 6 is 36, which would have been a very different answer, and of course would have been incorrect in an exam. 4 times 3 minus 7. So thinking about BIDMAS, brackets, indices, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Well, we've got multiplication there, so let's put some brackets around the multiplication. So let's work that out first. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5 as our correct answer. Again, let's have a look, go through our BIDMAS. Which bit do we do first? Let's some brackets around. Do we have any brackets, indices, division and multiplication? Yes, we've got division, so let's put some brackets around that and work it out first. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then we've got 6 add 3 is 9. Okay, now let's do our BIDMAS brackets first. So although we've got a division, we've got those numbers in brackets, which we must do first. So brackets, then division. So 8 plus 6 we need to work out first. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. So those brackets are telling us you must work this out first of all before you do anything else. Okay. And let's have a look at this one. BIDMAS tells us we do our division first. So we'll put some brackets around it to help us to work it out. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, now we've got 2 lots of multiplication and a subtraction. What do you think we need to do first? This is a bit trickier, isn't it? Because there's 2 things that come first on our list. We haven't got brackets or indices, but we have got 2 lots of multiplication. Does it matter which multiplication we do first? Not really. Let's put some brackets around the 2 sets of multiplication. We can work those out, and then we can subtract the answers. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 5 times 2 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. So it doesn't matter as long as we do those multiplications. You could have worked out 5 times 2 first and then 4 times 3, but you must keep them in the same order as they are written so that we subtract the numbers correctly. Otherwise, you'd have had 10 minus 12, which would have worked out as minus 2. So you must keep them in that same order from left to right. Okay? Now, 4 different numbers here with 3 operations. What do we do first? Brackets, indices, multiplication and division, addition, subtraction. We've got a multiplication in there, so let's put some brackets around that and work it out. 7 times 2 is 14. Now we can do addition and subtraction from left to right. 8 plus 14 minus 6. So 8 plus 14 is 22, minus 6 is 16. So there's our correct answer. Okay, here's some for you to practice now. So copy these down, write them down in your revision book or wherever you're doing your revision for this. Pause the video. Have a go at these. Remember, put brackets around the bit you want to do first. It will help you to focus. Work that out and then do the rest. And when you're ready, come back and we can go through the answers. Okay, so let's have a look. So 2 times 4 plus 3. So we need to do the multiplication. 2 times 4 is 8. And then we need to add on the 3. Did you get the right answer? Did you get 11? Well done. The second one, we do the multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 6 is 16. For question C, we've got brackets, which we must do first. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and then we can multiply that by 4. 7 fours are 28. Question D, 2 lots of brackets. So let's work out each bracket, and then we can multiply together the answers. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we can multiply those two answers together. 5 times 2 is 10. Did you get that one? That was a little bit more challenging. Okay, let's look at question E. What do we do first? Brackets, indices, division, multiplication. We've got some multiplications. We do that first. 4 times 4 is 16. Then we can work out addition and subtraction from left to right. 6 plus 16, which would be 22, then subtract the 2, which is 20. Question F, these are slightly harder. So go through your BIDMAS, brackets, indices, division. We've got division, let's do that first. 12 divided by 3, well that's 4. And then we can put that number in to our addition, 7 plus 4 plus 5. So that would be 16. The next one, we've got a multiplication and a division. What would we do first? Well, let's do 4 times 3. 4 3s are 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we've got 6 plus 6, which is 12. Next one. Okay, and we've got divisions and multiplications. Remember, if we've got them, we work from left to right. So let's do 20 divided by 4 first of all. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we can add on the 8, which gives us 18. Question I, we've got some brackets, so we must look at the brackets first. So 12 minus 2 is 10. Then we've got a division, so we do that next. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then we can subtract the 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And finally, the last one, we've got a multiplication and a division. So let's do those first. 2 times 3, which is 6. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we've got 6 plus 6 plus 3, which is 15. How did you get on with those? Did you find those easy? As long as you remember the order BIDMAS, you should be able to do those. Let's have a look now at some exam questions. These have all been taken from past papers. So remember that BIDMAS. What would we do first? 16 minus 5 times 2. So if you would like to have a go at these by following those BIDMAS rules, you can pause the video and have a go, and then I will go through the answers. So just do question A first, then you can come back and check that you've done that correctly, and then maybe have a go at the others and then check the answers. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at that. 16 minus 5 times 2. Think about the order, and then come back and I will share with you how you should have worked that out. Okay, so we must do the multiplication first. So 5 times 2, which is 10. And so we have 16 minus 10, which equals 6. Did you get that as the answer, or did you forget and do 16 minus 5, which is 11, times 2, which would give you 22? That would be the incorrect answer. Okay, try the next one. 10 minus 3 squared. We've got an indice there. So have a think about that. What part of that would you need to do? Is it 10 minus 3 and then we square it? Or is it 3 squared and then we take that answer away from 10? Think about how you would answer that. BIDMAS, brackets, indices, multiplication and division, and then the addition and subtraction. Okay, so we would do 3 squared first, which is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 10, take away 9 is 1. So our answer there would be 1. Okay, try the next one. We've got 5 times and then in brackets 2 plus 3. Think about your BIDMAS again. Have a go at that one and come back when you're ready for the answer. So for this one, we need to do brackets first. So we've got to do 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then we can do 5 times 5, which is 25. Okay, well done if you got those right. Here's some more for you to try, a little bit more challenging. So pause the video and have a go at these questions, and then I will go through the answers. So do all 3 questions and then you can press play again when you are ready to check out to see if you got them right. So question A, 10 plus 3 times 2. So of course, according to BIDMAS, we need to do multiplication first. So I've put brackets around 3 times 2, so it tells me I must do that. 3 times 2 is 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. Well done if you got that one correct. Of course, if you didn't, you might have done 10 plus 3 is 13 times 2, which would be 26, which is incorrect. Question B, 8 divided by 2 plus 12 divided by 4. So we've got 2 lots of division there, which we need to do first. So I've put brackets around those 2 lots of division. Let's work those out. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now we can add those together. 4 plus 3 is 7. Well done if you got that one right. It's slightly trickier. And finally, 3 times 10 divided by 5 minus 1. So we've got multiplication and division. So let's work those out from left to right. So first of all, 3 times 10, which is 30. Then we divide that by 5, which is 6. And then we can take away the 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. Well done if you got all of those right. Now, sometimes we get questions where they will give us an answer and a list of numbers and operations. We've got to work out where to put brackets to make them true. So which bit do we need to do first to make this correct? So without any brackets, we would do 6 times 7 first, then add the 3, then take away the 8. So would this work? 6 times 7 is 42, plus 3 is 45. Oh, this isn't going to work, is it? Because then I've got to take away 8. That is not going to give me 52. So I can't follow the normal BIDMAS rules, so I've got to put in some brackets to do something else first. Because that did not give me a big enough answer. So if I put brackets around 7 plus 3, that gives me 10. 6 times 10 is 60. Subtract 8 gives me the 52. So putting brackets around the 7 and the 3 is the correct answer for that question. Now, the following question. 4 plus 3 times 7 minus 1. Again, if we followed BIDMAS, we'd do 3 times 7 first, which is 21. Then we could add the 4, which would be 25, subtract the 1. That does not give me 42. So we actually need to put 2 lots of brackets into this question. We need to put brackets around 4 plus 3, which gives us 7. And then brackets around 7 minus 1 to give us 6. And then we've got 7 times 6 is 42. Those questions are quite common in exams, so it's worth having a look at those and trying to work them out. Okay, here is a walkthrough sheet reminding you of BIDMAS and some examples of where you would do BIDMAS, how you would do the different parts first. And then there are some questions there for you to have a go at. So you can pause the video and have a go. This sheet is as a PDF attached to this, so you can print this out if you want and write the answers. And there is another page there with some challenge questions to have a go at. When you have done all of those, you may come back and have a look, and I will share the answers with you. So pause the video and you can have a go at those BIDMAS questions and then have a go at those challenging questions and then come back for the answers. Good luck. So here are all the answers on those BIDMAS questions. I think they are quite straightforward to look at. I'll very briefly go through them. So question 1, we needed to do the multiplication first. So our answer was 21. Question 2, we needed to do the division first. So our answer was 16. Question 3, multiplication first. So our answer was 55. Question 4, we did the division first. Now you've got a negative number here. So remember it was 12 divided by minus 3 is minus 4. And then you've got a minus minus, which makes a plus. So got to do some of your other maths rules here, your negative number rules. So we're adding 30 plus 4 is 34. Again, multiplication and multiplication. So 2 lots there to do first. Minus 6 times 4 is minus 24. And then we're going to subtract 2 times 3, which is 6. And of course, negative numbers, minus 24 minus another 6 is minus 30. Okay, 2 lots of multiplication to do here. Again, with some negative numbers. 2 times 11 is 22. 7 times minus 3 is minus 21. So a plus and a minus makes a minus. 22 minus 21 is 1. Question 7, we've got brackets. So we must do the brackets first and then do the division. So we have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Again, in question 8, brackets to do first. 20 plus 3, first of all. Then divide by 2, and then add on the 3 to get 14.5. Question 9, 2 lots of brackets and an indices to do there. So 3 plus 6 is 9. Minus 2 squared. So minus times a minus makes a plus. So we have 9 times 4, which is 36. Question 10, brackets and an indice and a division. So look at the brackets. First of all, 20 minus 4 is 16. Then our indices, 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Then divide. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Question 11. We need to do the indices first then the multiplication, and then subtract. So indices, 3 times 3 times 3. 3 cubed is 27. Then we've got 5 times 27, which is 135. Then we can subtract that from the 8, which gives us minus 127. Question 12. We've got indices and multiplication. So let's think about our BIDMAS. We do the indices first. So 5 squared is 25. Then the multiplication. So 25 times minus 4 is minus 100. Now we can do the adding. 4 plus minus 100. Well, a plus and minus gives us a minus. So it's 4 minus 100, which is minus 96. Question 13. We've got brackets, and within those brackets we've got an indices. So we must do the indices first. 5 squared is 25. Then we can do what's inside the brackets. 20 minus 25, which is minus 5. And then multiply by 3, which gives us minus 15. Question 14. We can see we've got multiplication, we've got brackets and an indice. Well, BIDMAS says brackets first, so 4 plus 5 is 9. Then indices, so 9 squared, which is 81. Then our multiplication, 5 times 81, which is 405. Question 15. We've got lots of things going on here. 24. And then we've got a squared term. And we've got a square root. Okay. Let's do the... We haven't got brackets, so we'll do the indices first. So indices includes that root. So 2 squared, which is 4. Square root of 16, which is 4. Then we can do from left to right because we've got a division and a multiplication. So 24 divided by 4, which is 6, times 4, which is 24. Question 16. Explain why the answer to 10 plus 3 times 5 is 25 and not 65. So you can explain this using the BIDMAS rules, that we must do the multiplication first. So 3 times 5, which is 15, and then add on the 10. You might also want to show that if you did 10 plus 3 is 13 times 5, that would give you the 65, but that is not following the BIDMAS rules. Okay, the challenge. Place brackets in the following question to make it correct. Now this is challenging because we've got a root and we've got division and multiplication and negative numbers. So we needed to put the brackets around minus 2 times minus 2. So square root of 64 is 8 plus 6 divided plus minus 2 times minus 2, which would be 4, and that would give you 9.5. Okay. All right, so that's the end of our session. So thank you for watching. Thank you to goteachmaths.co.uk for the main PowerPoint which I adapted, and other resources from corbetmaths.com, twinkle.co.uk and mathsgenie.co.uk. Thank you for watching. If you would like to see more of these revision videos, you can subscribe to my Patreon site following the link. Or if you want more information about how I could help you, you can email me on andreawilsontuition@gmail.com. Bye.